Kutam milunodis uamid, karar nam. Welcome, friends, to the dimension of destiny. To those who don't know me, I am Phlegm Crevice, scholar, chronicler, part-time masseuse, and full-time deity. It is I who shall be foretelling the stories of the dwarven lives that you are about to witness, in all their juicy glory. And for all those who witnessed the mess of Labelyord, I have decided to soldier on. Many lives were lost, yes, but I feel as though it would be a disservice to their good memories for me to not continue garnering attention and gathering fame. So, yes, onwards and upwards. Well, northwards. I've had enough of water to last me a lifetime, so, heading along the mountains, I discovered a lovely little barren desert, surrounded by savage lands and filled to the brim with very dangerous wildlife. Although I certainly hope nothing horrendously gory and noteworthy happens. The specific area for the new site will be here, in this outcrop of desert bursting into a savanna that looks like Leisure Suit Larry poking out of a box. As much as I am against having too much water in the area, I am mindful of our need for it and the trees that I would not find in the center of the desert proper. So yes, welcome to the Desert of Mastering. Welcome to Channelglazes. Ah, yes. Channelglazes. A new fortress? A new set of friendly faces to become familiar with. We're going to do things just a little differently this time. With Labelyord, I'd handcrafted each dwarf. I knew their deepest, darkest, most sordid little wants and desires. But we're 8 long years from the birthing of the Dimension of Destiny now. I've no idea how their tastes and moods have changed. I know, for instance, that Thighcut used to enjoy whistling, but I couldn't tell you if that stuck. Cog is clearly overreading, his skin's as tanned as cowhide. Avaz is still a fisher dwarf, over my dead body. Onol still has all his fingers. No idea how. Id? No, she's chopped all her hair off. I do hope that was by choice. Einod's a woodcutter now. Didn't he have philophobia? Oh, and Catten. Of course she'd be here. We'll have to get reacquainted with them all later, though. The desert is full of dangers. Like these horrifying lion-sized thrips. A joke in their normal teeny-tiny state. One solitary thrips, yes, that is the singular, can easily dive down on an unsuspecting dwarf, jam their enlarged left mandible into their flesh, and inject a stream of stinging saliva that stirs their stuffing into soup. And we seem to have 4 or 5. Reason enough to get below, without the giant dwarf-eating hedgehog. Here we are, the simple space below the scorching surface to pile our supplies, away from the murderous mega-vermin. We'll set up some workstations in the nooks, along with a trade depot that we'll access through a door, but that the traders will get to via a ramp. We've got a small room here that will act as a space to mass the dwarves in defense of an attack, but I'm hoping it will be superseded before too long by the simple expedient of burying ourselves deeper. Still need to dig out a dormitory and simple dining area, not to mention some more spaces for further workstations, but that will all have to wait. You may have noticed this little passageway. Well, it crosses the biome border, so that we can dig down in the savannah to search for the aquifer. Clever, no? Well, it turns out not that clever. I never did find the thing, but we've started a little stone gathering area here at the very least. Oh, how inconvenient. The traders have arrived. The joy of starting a fortress in the summer, I suppose. Oh, and, well, I never. If it isn't our queen consort. I must admit, I'm a little surprised to find she comes out this far. It seems something of a bad omen to be reminded of our last failed attempt at greatness so early into this one. Perhaps I'm being silly. None of the dwarves here had anything to do with that place, so I see no reason why it might come up here. Yes, let's start fresh. Hello, Your Highness. Oh, there's much to share about the world. Well, perhaps we'll take a look at that a little later. As for what we're requesting, I think I'll surprise no one to say we're asking for drinks. It being the desert and everything. Relic Shimmered have a fancy for large gems. As per usual, we shall see what we can do. I mean, as per never, because Channelglazes has never traded with Relic Shimmered. Because it didn't exist until last month. Because... oh dear. Smooth Flemmo. Nanuza Shon, Your Highness. My word, new arrivals already? 4 by the look of it. Yes, here they are, all gathered at the edge of the desert. Well, don't just stand there. Come in. Yes, and you. Hello? Ah, good. Back to our other visitors, we're going to trade a few cut tiger eyes and some low-quality weaponry for drinks and a couple of empty barrels. Tiny little trade, but it's all we can muster this year. We'll definitely have more for next year. Please still come next year. Please. Nanu's Ashon. No, do be careful on your way out. As you can see, a giant moth has taken up residence on the surface. If the worst thing it does is eat your clothes, I still don't want to see that. So, I've allowed a little time to pass. As you can see, we've added the small dormitory and extra workshops to the south of the borough. To the north is a larger space that we've cleared and filled with furniture to act as our dining hall. The kitchen and still are off to one side for ease of access, and the basic functionality of it as a whole made me giggle at the thought of opening it as a general tavern. You know, this sandy little hole in the ground illuminated only by the fire of the kitchens. The dwarves have named it the Candy of Tongs, which can be translated as the sweetness of tools for holding hot things. So suffice to say, I think our queen consort might not leave next year. It's been an absolute hit, surprising nobody, as it would appear that every dwarf now spends about 85% of their time here. Telling stories and singing songs in an unlit, glorified corridor. I despaired at the ridiculousness of it all, but honestly, I'm just glad they're underground like proper dwarves. No, for the love of... there's always one. Here's Low Gem, admiring the majesty of a nature that could kill or disrobe him in a single bite. Stop frolicking and get back to the fortress, you colossal spoon. Yes, go for a drink. Honestly. Is there a human in the fortress? Why is there a human in the fortress? He's a bard? He heard about the sticky manipulator and just had to perform here. I have 3 questions. How and why and shut up? No, you bloody well didn't. I don't... What do I do here? This Lukey is certainly a suspect character, but at the same time he isn't asking for anything but our hospitality, and I can't help but notice he's a skilled metal worker, which goes very well with the abundant hematite we're finding. Fine, he can stay. But the second he starts warping the minds of our dwarves so they start building random nonsense on the surface, he's gone. I must admit, I am rather excited by the intimation of this human, though. If we can draw somebody to this awful little dust bowl with naught but some tables and chairs, imagine how magnetic our future prospects will be. Speaking of future prospects, I've had Avars and Catten digging down in the hopes of finding somewhere marvellous to set up our Channelglazes proper. They've discovered this, a vast subterranean lake, with copious amounts of vegetation to take advantage of. The ground is spread over only 2 Z levels, which should make terraforming a breeze, and... oh, whoops. We'd better get a door on this opening before anything squiggly-wiggly squirms its way up the stairs at a squelch. That's better. So, yes, this will be where we place Channelglazes proper. I know it's a little difficult to envision from above like this, so I hasten to take a picture from a better angle. Pretty, no? Obviously, we're going to enhance its natural beauty with some solid dwarven structures, but you must admit, it is already rather pretty. Before we can do anything, however, we're going to need building materials. Now, one thing I didn't love about... well, anyway, red is a colour I would like to stay away from. So given the choice, we'll be taking claystone for blocks, rather than the rock salt. We shan't be wasting our miners' time, though. The area being dug out will be where we'll put our furnaces and metalworking workshop. Until we move downstairs, at least. Then, I don't know, maybe we'll make it a temple or guild hall or something. Provided we discover a deity or guild we don't like. Regardless, I expect we'll need to expand the space for claystone first, anyway. So, that's Channelglazes. A sandy little hole in the desert that's already being overtaken by the weeds. I am conscious of how distasteful things are at the moment, so I will of course be impressing upon the dwarves how important it is to stay focused on the task at hand. That isn't to say that things will be straightforward or predictable. Heavens no. For example, I am interested in utilizing some of the pervasive sand to make glass blocks. I've heard that some wonderful effects can be achieved with their use, and I plan on getting the dwarves to... well, that would be telling. And with that tantalizing bit of teasing, I shall wish you a fine farewell from the fortress that isn't quite yet Channelglazes. Anus Ashon, you most wonderful of people. Anus Ashon. Wait, hold the end screen. I was getting all set to put the dwarves away in the screaming void for another fortnight when we got this announcement. Another human has come to visit. I let her get comfortable in the sugary pokey so we could figure out what she was about. Turns out her name is Emtha. She's a professional cheesemaker, competent hammerman, and she's come to Channelglazes to relax and slay beasts. But she's all out of beasts. So she's swapping stories with Lukey and the honey grippers. And I'm sure once we've opened up the door to the cavern, she'll throw herself into the whole monster hunting thing with a relish. But I can't help but notice she stated she's quick to love. And we've got a perfectly serviceable human man right there. A breeding pair. I wonder if we could sell the eggs. Gutam milunodiers were mead. Welcome, you wonderful individuals, to Channelglazes once again. It's another beautiful day in the desert, not that our dwarves would know. No, they're busying themselves below the surface, and I couldn't be more proud. Now, you'll remember we had some human visitors to the Sugar of Tongs, and I was excited at the prospect of our dwarves adding to their culinary experiences by getting them breeding. Some sad news had me preparing to announce the impossibility of human eggs, however. Lukey left. He was the bard. And it would appear that human females are not like chickens and cannot produce without a male partner. Nothing notably filling, anyway. Luckily, we have been visited by a new human. This one an axeman monster hunter named Ngojo Oatsecret. If anything, he seems more suitable for our good Emtha, and providing they both decide to stay, I will be arranging a space for them, and have already tasked one of the dwarves with designing an egg box big enough. For now, Ngojo is making himself comfortable after a long and dusty trek through the desert. I still marvel at the fact that our tiny tavern seems able to attract anything but sand. Here's an idea. Let's have a little listen in on the tavern. Oh, before we start, you might be wondering, no, that bard isn't Lukey. This is Durr, and suffice to say, the name is quite apt. So we just... I have travelled far. My only companions, the sun and the sky.
No, really?
And the ground, surely. What? Well, I'm just saying, if you're counting the sky, you can't leave the ground out, surely. Ha! Why would I count the ground a companion? Its grueling miles have left me footsore. I don't say that's the ground's fault. You what? You could have ridden a horse. What?
He's right.
What? No, I mean, what about saddle sores? Without a horse. What? No point blaming the ground on horseless saddle sores. You'd be better off getting a new tailor. No, I take it you blame chapped lips on the moon. Well, that was awful. Good news, though. It would seem our monster hunting pair have decided they would like to end their days at Channelglazes. Let's hope it won't be too soon an end, though. What? What's that sound? Oh, what's that? Up in the sky. Is it? Oh my, it is. It's... Thrips woman, thrips woman, yeah, thrips woman, thrips woman, yeah, thrips woman, thrips woman, yeah, thrips woman, thrips woman, yes. Mom and a gardener, she's blessed with a green thumb. Government scientist catches sight of her plums, fumbles the wrong vials and she dives to catch them. Now she's thrips pied up and she can do stuff to leaves. Just a little more ridiculousness then. I hope you enjoyed it. But yes, it would appear we have a local contingent of beast people that just so happen to be half thrips. Which, given the giant thrips in the last episode, begs questions I'm too polite to voice. In actual Channelglazes news, I've ordered the dwarves to clear out a space amongst the stone pillars down here on the cavern floor. The plan is to build up some 2 to 3 level walls topped with fortifications around this space, leaving the underground breeze full access. Over here, I'm planning a roofed area that will contain our second and final trade depot, with a small stockpile area for goods and an office for our bookkeeper Cog. Now I know what you're thinking, and stop that, it's disgusting. As for access, clearly the traders can't navigate the single tile stairs we have currently, so I'll be getting a ramp put in from the surface to end around here. Observant viewers will have noted this door to the water's edge over here. Well, this will be the access point for what will be our well. And to capitalise on the close water source, a small hospital will go here. Lots to do, obviously, but in just clearing it all out, we've been getting important materials that make our reliance on the surface less so. That's as far as my plans go for now. We'll talk of bedrooms and such at a later date. Whilst planning things out, I couldn't help but notice that one of our resident monster hunters is on the prowl. Here is Imtha, stalking the Stygian darkness with naught but her warhammer. I must say, it's quite brave of her, considering the creepy, crawly fang nasties that we see scuttling at the edge of the torchlight of an evening. But it's clear that she's made for it. As a professional cheesemaker, she will have seen her fair share of horrifying sights. Can't say as I would be overly desperate to meet the underside of a cow, udder to eye. Memories that being scatterbrained might assist with, perhaps. I do have to question her methods, though. She'll wander out a little ways, stand vigil for a few hours, then wander back to the fortress. We've got complete access to this level of the cavern. She could be elbow-deep in crundles by now. Ah, well, I would honestly rather she'd spend more time upstairs in the tavern to keep herself safe for Operation Big Egg. Though, I don't think I have anything to worry about. Here we can see a small group of troglodytes gathering in this space to the northwest of Channelglazes. Forget being within a stone's throw, it's literally spitting distance. Disgusting things. Imtha has walked past them whistling about 4 times now, and neither side has moved a muscle. To a dwarf, they're tall, gangly monstrosities, but perhaps Imtha can see some form of kinship with them. Regardless, they don't seem to be causing any trouble, and our monster hunter is safe, so I'm happy to let it go. Oh, and talking of breeding programs, I'm excited to announce the fact that we've got a breeding pair of skink people. I'm not quite certain how we'll interact with them without losing a finger or 5, but that's a problem for future Phlegm. So for now, I'm just giddy with anticipation. Ooh, maybe we can start a sentient people zoo. How horrifying! During that excitement, I became aware of the fact that this layer of the cavern is actually also connected to the one below. If we go down here, see, it's mostly just water at this low area, but with a little exploration, I discovered this alien nightmare scape. Poisonous-looking red mushrooms, hollow tubes with sharp protuberances, and dark-stained grey mosses, all hiding an assortment of wriggly, squiggly monstrosities with a predilection for the giblets of a dwarf. And we're connected to this by a wide downward shaft that'll be nigh impossible to plug. No, did you see that? No, something slimy just oozed itself through the surface foam. I saw tendrils. No, water. That was the plan. I chose a damnable desert so there'd be no water. How was I to know there'd be an ocean of the stuff filled with slugs and snails and Santa's entrails? Give me a moment. Here's our expedition leader, Thighcut. I've been meaning to look in on some individuals, and who better to start with than her? She's out in the cavern gathering plants. I figure with 2 monster hunters, we can afford to be a little reckless after all. As far as I'm aware, she'd not been much of a herbalist before Channelglazes. but she set to with a will and seems to now be rather adept. She also appears to be mumbling something. Shall we listen in? Oh, yes, that's right, she's a whistler. Well, I guess that answers our question of whether she kept it up. So far, this machine hasn't been worth the bloody... Wait, what? No, wait! Okay, so I have utilised my godly powers to stop time for a moment because it would appear that our Gojo has stumbled upon the troglodytes from before. Now, I left my obsidian tablet of rewinding on the bus last week, so I'm afraid all we can do is let this run its course and hope our Axeman can handle himself. Oh, doof! No! No, he's running away. Thank me. Is he screaming in fear? Did you not understand that monster hunting might involve a little... Oof! One more there. The others don't seem desperate to advance. Yes, perhaps get yourself back to the fortress. Well, that's not the way to... Let's see here. So I've been following him for a little while, and I've been able to discern he's caught a little bruise on his axe hand, and that's it. I think his ego took the brunt of the damage for having begged for help so many times. Now he's gone to brood on the fact that hitting things with sharp weapons tends to kill them. Perhaps we should be looking for a replacement father for Operation Big Egg. No, there's a male poet visiting the Sugar of Tongues. How fortuitous. A Mr. Cecil Baby Passion. Perhaps not. If you could vacate the tavern, please. You've scared away the other patrons. Oh, it appears to be that time of year again. Hello, your highness. Come on in. Get yourself comfortable away from the monstrous megafauna. She doesn't seem in the greatest of moods, which won't be helped by Mr. Baby Passion, I'm sure. Well, let's get this meeting underway quickly. No changes to the world to speak of? Good. As for requests, we'll take more drinks for now, as I'm a little too preoccupied to plan out anything more substantial. Headwear and leather water skins for relic shimmered. No promises. We've got our own issues to focus on. But Banu's a shone, your highness. Stick around if you would like. The drinks are plentiful at least. As for the traders, it's a sizable trade, but nothing too interesting. We'll give up some cut gems for the drinks we requested last year, and add some small articles of clothing and prepared food. They seem a little curt this year. I wonder if that hedgehog talked. The news are shone anyway. And that's it for another year. As you can see, we've completed the outer walls of Channelglazes proper. The hospital is up and running, and although it's small, I like how it's situated. Gojo has already had his boo-boo dealt with. The trade depot is ready for next year, as is the stockpile room and office for Cog. A me-send I can't begin to tell you, as the precision of our stocks has been seriously lacking. We've thrown a couple of workstations up to start gathering webs and making bags, the purpose of which is to finally begin gathering sand from above, which has been the bottleneck, no pun intended, on our glass production. But this is not the final resting place for them, just somewhere convenient for the interim. The next thing to sort will be some bedrooms, which I have exciting plans for, and the creation of an actual tavern to garner some real attention. So, yes, with that, I must wish you all a fond farewell. Keep yourselves safe, you most wonderful of individuals. Danus, Eshon. Kutam Milunudis Umid. We're getting straight to the fortress details today because, well, just because. Here you can see a large space that overhangs the cavern, cleared out and soon to be lined with individual bedrooms. I've a feeling that we'll soon be welcoming many new migrants, and we can't expect 20+ individuals to share the little dormitory near the surface. Well, not and have them keep up their chipper demeanours. So yes, bedrooms. As you've probably noticed, each room has a back wall that is 1 block from being the open air of the cavern below, and that has been done purposefully. I mentioned last episode that we wanted to start producing glass. Well, these bedrooms are one of the reasons for doing so. I don't want to spoil too much just yet, and there's a lot of work to be done before I unveil anything. So let's instead address this empty space here. You are currently looking at what will be the jewel of Channelglazes. I plan for this entire area of floor to be replaced with glass, upon which the dwarves will be building the true Tavern of Channelglazes, in full view of the fortress below. How'd you like them, prickleberries? Oh, I'm so excited! Or at least I would be excited if the process for making glass wasn't such a chore. So here we are, just below the surface, and get back to work, Captain. Oh, hello, Cog. Getting a drink, are we? Lovely, lovely. What was I doing? Oh, yes, the glass. So, here you can see a couple of glass kilns, and just below them, a large room the dwarves carved out of the sand. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, she wasn't flirting with you. She's just that nice to everybody. So, for some blasted reason, the dwarves will only gather sand if there happens to be a glass kiln around. Probably a religious thing. Best not to question it. The dangers of chronic alcoholism in the workforce. Anyway, the dwarves have their glass kilns, so they're happy to gather sand now. Which they'll only do with bags, by the way. Not wheelbarrows, or rock pots, or barrels, or... yes. So they can then melt that down to make glass. Right? Wrong! Firstly, they're going to need fuel to get the glass kiln, which is separate to the ones above to help with expediency, to get it up to temperature. Hence, a wood furnace. Now, it's rather hard to miss the second wood furnace, and no, that isn't needed to convince the dwarves to cut down trees, thank me. That furnace is to perform the task of burning wood logs to ash, which is absent in the process of producing charcoal, apparently. I mean, surely burning wood is burning wood? Anyway, we need the ash in the glass-making process, but not as it is right now, of course. No, there haven't been enough buckets involved in the process. That is where the ashery comes in. A workshop that utilizes the bucket without water to turn humble ash into the much more versatile pot ash. But Phlegm, I hear you cry. What's the difference? Damned if I know, but we're still not done. On we go now to the pottery kiln. The potash has seen a bucket, and that'll never do. So we burn out the memories, and what emerges from the kiln is fine white powder pearl ash. Powder which the dwarves insist on handling and storing like bars, so the bloody mess is not important. Finally now, with our dwarves choking on 3 different fine particulates, we can transfer everything to the glass kiln and get ourselves some glass. A single, solitary block. Suffice to say, the glass block stocks are growing at a glacial pace. Aha, it's begun! See, I told you that we had migrants in our future. Oh yes, Channelglazes is starting to pick up steam. Here's Locum, the unfortunate name. Athel, a beekeeper, if I'm not mistaken. Not a profession we're in particular need of, but she's also a bit of a dancer, if I recall. Oh my, is that Phlegm? Eaten something that doesn't agree with him, poor dwarf. Lorbam the glassmaker, now there's a good one. Nil, yes, well. Me, Locum seems to have caught what Phlegm's got. Oh dear, maybe migrants weren't such a good idea after all. Oh no, it's Atia. That's why they're all running. No, by all that is holy, please don't tell me she brought... And here's Col. Stone-mad Atia and her bloody bold homunculus Colcabon. Yes, you heard that correctly. Wheeled odors. Her parents were not the most intelligent of dwarves, so wheelie stinky was the extent of their ability. Oh, but for a truly good thesaurus. Oh, damn, they're heading in of all the rotten luck. So, remember last episode when I said Lukey had left? Yes, this is the man. I have no idea how long he's been here at the edge of the desert, which is to say, I know he definitely left the area a year ago, and this is him returning. I just don't know how long he's been back. I haven't halted time. This is live feed of Lukey, standing on the edge of the desert, like a weirdo. Bloody creepy if you ask me. I'll just watch him for a little longer. Okay, it's been 2 weeks, even I have my limits. When you're done eating sand, join us at the fortress, won't you? Absolute basket case. Now, don't get excited. I saw the human in the Sugar of Tongs and made the same assumption, but Lukey is still in the desert. This is Dur again, she of the Lament of the Fair Maid, or the Dirty Spoon Song as the kids call it. I'm really starting to wonder regarding the type of stories that are being told regarding Channelglazes out in the world proper. Perhaps we should ask some questions of our Queen Consort. Not a bad idea. Oh, by the 9 secret spices of Jalib's fish special, since when did we become a bloody human fortress? Why are those bandy-legged head-knockers coming to trade with us? Barely enough trade goods for one caravan. Hey, why are you taking your stinking beast through our fortress proper? Have you never heard of a trade entry? Wait, no, you're going to spoil the... Sorry, everyone. Everything's all plugged back in. And look, we're already setting up to do our trade. Nothing shown off before it should be. Everything good. Now, I went a little overboard. There's no denying that. We ended up trading all of our prepared gems for a good selection of food and drink. But I've been thinking about it, and having 2 caravans in the year means we can spend even less time worrying about gathering, so that we can focus on what really matters. It's going to make things difficult come autumn and the Dwarven caravans, which are only a couple of months away. But I think in the end, keeping the human suite will pay dividends with Project Big Egg. Because Emtha seems to be broken. Well, hey, look, it's Lukey. He made it to the Sugar of Tongs eventually, and now he's petitioning to live with us at the fortress. Well, an emphatic yes to that. possibly regretting his decision now as he listens to Durr sing, and no, we will not be listening in. Hopefully he takes up the hammer and starts turning some of our iron bars we've got into armour and weapons. It's probably past time that we should have a working military of some kind. No, it's probably fine. Make yourself at home, Lukey. Hello, Your Highness. Such a pleasure to greet you once more. Might I say you seem to have a spring in your step? She's excited remembering performing. Yes, moving on. Oh, would you look at that? She knows how to use the visitor's entrance. Now she's chasing Thighcut up the... Wait! Oh, phew. Nearly spoiled the... Where is she going? Taking in the sights? Yes, the caverns are particular... No! Thighcut, if you could please choose somewhere to have a discussion... Ah, yes. There we... No. No. No! Thighcut, just stay... No! Oh my me, wasn't that a palaver? Let's just get this done so I can go have a lie down. World is the same as ever. Yes, yes, I swear if it weren't for me, nothing would happen anywhere. Of course, that's literally true. Now on to the requests. Surprising nobody we're asking for drinks, though we've added charcoal, as we're now always in need, and gold because, well, why not? Relic Shimmered are desperate for armour and backpacks. Well, while we should be making armour, I'm afraid it's going to stay with us for the time being. Thank you as always, Your Highness. If you'd like to stick around, we'll be unveiling our new tavern before too long. Hee hee. Nanu's are shown. Bit of a weird trade this time. Not what we're getting, that's drinks, clothes and other odds and ends. No, more what we're handing out. A giant kangaroo we caught in a cage trap, and a barrel of different spices, plus a handful of small cut gems. And I hope Relic Shimmered don't get a taste for this stuff. It's not like we're swimming in it. Traders seem happy though, so we'll just move on. Okay, it's finally time. Allow me to unveil Channelglazes' brand new tavern, The Candies of Wire. We'll circle back to the name. First, I would like to draw attention to that most marvellous of marvels, the glass block floor. I can't lie, we've already had some issues with inebriated citizens finding their feet. Or should I say, not finding the ground beneath them. But another great thing about the glass is that it's wipe clean. There have been some complaints regarding the view from the fortress below. Really have to get Einod out of that dress of his. We're a progressive 21st century channel, but there's no underpants in Dwarf Fortress. Moving on, you'll note that the furniture is all made from iron. I wanted something just a little different and had so many bars of the stuff just clanging around. I think it looks spiffy, though the dwarves moaned about the weight and the constant sound of glass under intense strain. Wimps the lot of them. So finally, yes, the Candies of Wire. I could spend a year balanced on my head beneath a waterfall of molten ducks and still come up with a more sensible appellation. But half the fun is letting the dwarves name things. They've clearly settled on a sweet theme, and as nonsensical as it is, I'm just glad they're happy. Oh, quickly look! It happened! Lukey is smithing! You might not understand my excitement, so allow me to explain. As a deity, I have the ability to nudge the minds of the citizens within the fortress to get them doing whatever it is I need them to do. This doesn't work with any beastmen that join us, however. They just don't have the brains. Now, I've never discovered what a hue is. but from context they're tall, bald and dumb enough to drag the average down. So I can't make Lukey do anything his little human brain hasn't... Drat, he's off to get a drink. Guaranteed by the time he comes back some dwarf will have taken up the tongs. Oh well. Short of banning all dwarven smith work, we'll probably never see him at it again. But never mind. Enjoy your drink, you strange little man. And the bedrooms are finished. Aren't they just perfect? You can see we utilised the glass blocks to create windows at the back of each of the rooms. This is why we left that single block of cavern wall between the rooms and the cavern below. Imagine living underground and still having to deal with the feeling of open space. Yuck! No, see, what we did was get the dwarves to smooth the rock, then carve beautiful, random pictures into that rock, which we then faced with the beautiful transparent glass. I'm sure there are some that would point and sneer at this as the height of folly, but I assure you that the inclusion of glass will prevent any wear and tear on the engravings. We're protecting the beauty for future generations. And of course the bedrooms continue to the south, with more planned out westward, beyond Ficut's new office. But we'll have to take a look at all of that next episode. Time has made fools of us, and the humans are back to trade, meaning the dwarven caravans are not far behind. Almost 2 years have passed, if you'll believe it. Channelglazes is growing more resplendent by the day, and I am simply bursting with pride for our dwarves. Though I am noticing some sullen faces, so perhaps we will spend some time praying in our new temple and relaxing in our new tavern. Maybe a feast or a holy day. It's been a while since anybody was sacrificed to rejuvenate my eternal life essence. Well, we shall see. As always, it has been my great pleasure to have you here today, my friends. Look after yourselves. Anus, Eshon. Kutam Milunudi Zuamid. Welcome back to Channelglazes. We're down at the fortress bottom, watching our new squad train up in their open-air barracks. Much like with the Silk Gathering, this is a temporary setup, and once we've completed the bedrooms above, we'll set a proper dwarven barracks in the rock. With that said, allow me to introduce you to the mysterious tongs. Quite what affinity for grasping tools our dwarves have, I don't know, but I think it's fair to say that when they like something, they stick to it. I would have preferred a moniker with more of a martial tone to it, but let's just be thankful it isn't the mysterious lumps or similar. Now, we made Id our militia commander. Any who know Id would understand why. She's the dwarven equivalent of a brick. Solid, dependable, the type to stand with her peers and produce a wall to protect her fellow citizens. Though she's more corners than brain cells and a propensity to be bad for other people's teeth. Not sure which of those armoured figures is the dwarf in question, but I can tell you that she's been enjoying it, which is very good, as we've been hearing no end of bizarre noises from the cavern beyond the walls. Previously, I would have simply locked the doors, as I have here, and continued my existence free of the things going square, square. Channelglazes will brook no such namby-pamby thinking, however, because the blasted fortress opens out into the cavern. The one piece of good news, stretching the word somewhat, is that I've managed to find my old phytoscope, and with a bit of ingenuity and a lot of tape, stuck it to my obsidian tablet of rewinding that the bus company very kindly posted back to me. So now we've got sort of a budget version of the old combat log from the ASCII days. What this means is we have a way of determining that there are apparently a contingent of formidably armed, though not legged, serpentmen and women slithering around, beating up the poor defenceless dwarf-eating cave trolls. I've never been so glad snakes can't fly in my eternal existence. Caves. I knew they'd be a damn stupid idea. This is what happens when I drink too much and let that idiot thimble talk at me. I mean, okay, I was definitely wrong about them just collapsing under the weight of all the rock from above. I still don't get that. But when you're building the perfect world for a race of creatures who like to dig through something, less of that something can never be a good thing. Murderland being one possible exception. Oh my, what are those things? Some sort of animal hybrid. Like a beastman, but just beast. A beast. They've got long bird-like legs, a big fluffy feathery body, then a meese end, with antlers and everything. Oh wait, I remember these. Deer mews. No, wait. Goat stridges? Elk bird? Definitely one of Thimble's. There's a herd. Flock? Flurd. There's a group of them gathered at the northern end of the cavern. A handful have somehow gotten themselves wedged into a gap in the rock. I think it probably doesn't bear mentioning that they can't fly. Antlers aren't the most aerodynamic of bodily structures after all. Which would explain the hideous pile of elkbird bits in the pool of elkbird juice on the cavern level below. Poor things. Oh, but apparently they can jump. Oh look, yes, just one more in there. Don't look down, you sweet abomination. Ha ha ha! Oh, bless. Hello, your highness. Trader's entrance again. I told you we think more of you than that. Honestly, the fact that you trek all the way out here personally is more than enough of a concession to... Oh, see, now if you'd gone in through the citizen's entrance, you would have discovered Thykot was out gathering... Wait, she wasn't even... New Fitbit, is it, your highness? Or did you just feel like tracking sand through our lovely fortress? Ugh, never mind. As for the traders, I'm not getting into specifics today. If you've seen one trade, you've seen them all. At least at Channelglazes recently. Perhaps in the future we'll focus on making a hyper-financial fortress. Imagine the fun of building a horde. Anyway, yes, for now it's just the basics and nobody needs to see that. Except for Rimtar. But she loves the monotony. Don't ask her, just trust me. Big news on Project Big Egg! Here you can see we've set up something of an aviary for our humans. I don't know much about them, but I figured since they spend most of their time in the open air, they would appreciate a bit of a view. Hence the glass. Without the appropriate material, we can't of course call it a bird cage. So what do we think to the love jug? I'm a little put off by the visual language, jugs being a vessel for various fluids. But otherwise, I think it shall do nicely. I've only been able to assign Emther so far, but once we've figured out some aphrodisiacs, I'm sure Ngojo will jump at the chance to cohabit. And the nest box is, of course, self-explanatory. So, I've left the dwarves to get to some basic tasks. We were running out of various odds and ends, and sometimes you just need to let the little sods get their bizarre urges out to reset the work orders. Whilst hovering above the temporary surface fortress, I couldn't help but notice we've begun to suffer from a very laborious issue. Cats. Big ones, small ones, they're filling the fortress with hair and dead vermin, and I want them gone. So if you look to the north, you will see a brand new butcher's workshop and a specific cat bit stockpile beside it to prevent any rotting issues. Down below, we've added a leather working workshop, so there's kitten mittens in our future, and I've lined up some luxury meals to be produced too, so prepare for cat stew. As lovely as these secondary results are, you just can't beat the ability to walk downstairs without treading in cat shit. I'm just glad my allergies are four-dimensional, so they only make me sneeze if I turn 13 degrees northwest Widdershins relative to them on a Tuesday. A fun fact, all dwarves are 100% allergic to me as a deity, and within my presence will experience spontaneous combustion along with a contingent of other minor symptoms. Moving on, here you can see the military dwarves in their barracks. I thought they were training, but it would appear they are actually listening to a rousing speech which is being made by Onol. Let's take a listen. Next, you take your finely minced liver, add it to the cassava root that you finely minced, and mixed both of them with the finely minced brains that we prepared earlier, to make, of course, the finest of roasts, rather than a bowl of random minced ingredients, as you might have expected.
What if you got no brains? Like Catherine?
I'm not having that. Come here, you little...
Oof! Ow!
Laugh at me, will you?
You hit like a girl.
I am a girl.
I don't know what I was expecting. Onol isn't even the militia commander. That's his lover Id, of course. Though me knows what he gets out of that relationship. Literally, I know he's in defeat and hers are massive. Oh no, talking of bloody massive, take a look at this monster rat. I've no idea what it's doing. Seems to be panicking at the sight of all of our dwarven warriors. Which I wouldn't blame it for, but I've met them. Thinking about it, this will be a good opportunity for our green fighters. Give me a moment. Yes, go and kill that horrible thing. Holy, that was actually done with no small amount of efficiency. Perhaps my concern was unfounded. Perhaps we can send the warriors out without worry or delay. Perhaps... what's that sound? Oh my me! So that's where I put you. Allow me to introduce Arak Bugsud Ral, the blisters of submerging. I was making French fries in the nude, that is to say, with my god turned off, and accidentally dipped my tallywhacker in the boiling oil. The curse word I uttered deafened the neighbour's cosmic antelope and created this little goalie boy. I'd completely forgotten all about him. Oh look, he's going for a little swim after murdering who knows how many serpentmen. Don't overexert yourself, Arak. You know how crumbly you'll get when you're wet. Oh, he's dead. Ah, well, at least he thinned the herd. Oh, they mangled his coal. I'm going to need a minute. Oh, my poor useless beast. Take a look at this. He had poisonous breath, which, due to the mechanics of such a thing, led to him continuously being caught in a cloud of his own boiling extract. Because, of course it did. You hear breath attack and imagine gouts of the stuff, but envision having to attack something by breathing on it. Halitosis notwithstanding. Hopefully this means the Cavern will have calmed down. Not that I'm going to be throwing our dwarves out into the darkness just yet. No. I think we need to let them spend a little more time training. Perhaps wait for a few more migrant waves to fill out some redundancies. Ghoulish perhaps, but Channelglazes must go on. Oh, here we have something for our freshly blooded warriors to do, though. Some more giant thrips. I've set the warriors to attack mode, so let's just follow along and watch the mayhem. Phew! Look at all of that bug juice. Oh, and oh no, Catan appears to have been injured. Nil's got her, though, carrying her down the trade entrance into the small hospital. Ugh, would you look at how disgustingly chipper she's being? Oh good, here's Einod, our chief medical dwarf. We should be able to see what's wrong now. Oh, that's a nasty wound to her left ankle. And of course, she's already up and about. What an absolutely ridiculous dwarf. Well, at least she's Oh, come on! See, this is exactly why you are the worst. Always pushing past your limits and overcoming your adversities. Look, her greaves were removed with the impact. And now she's just going to complete an individual combat drill. Probably with accompanying music for a montage. Well, that just won't do. We'll have to find a replacement for her. But first, look at this! We've managed to capture our very own giant thrips, and I know the perfect place to put it. Right here. In Pride of Place, in the centre of Channelglazes' own candies of wire. Ah, yes. Isn't it strange how these things tend to work out? Before Channelglazes, I couldn't tell you what a thrips even was, but now I'm honestly thinking of getting out and manifesting a garden to draw some in. They're not big, they're not pretty, but by me have they not stolen a teeny tiny piece of my heart. Back to Catan for a moment, and would you just look at this sickeningly bubbly dwarf? She's currently satisfied upon improving her crutch walking. Who else but Catan, eh? I must admit, she is getting pretty good with it. Yes. Hobble, you filthy little optimist. Can't help but notice your sock is half full. That's a good one. Well, it's getting to be about that time again. The human caravans have arrived once more, and so, with the sounds of them in the background, we shall say our goodbyes. Though, should probably mention, regarding Catan's replacement, I went with Col. She's bloody useless for anything else, and with all her free time, she's started to emulate the cats, and I can't keep asking the other dwarves to clean her leavings off the stairs, so... yes. And with that delightful thought, I shall leave you. Do make sure you take care, and I hope to see you next time. Nanus are shone, my friends. Nanus are shone. Now, what did we think of that, eh? I felt something has been missing from our episodes for a while now, and I don't know for certain that it's been this, but I can say that making it was a blast. At the very least, it should add a well-needed sense of continuity and just a dash of pomme de terre. But enough about the intro. Kutam Melunodis Wamid, you beautiful people. Welcome back to Channelglazes, or more specifically, the Trade Depot, where we see the humans have once again graced us with their smell. Rimtar's with them. Has been with them for weeks now, despite the trading being over. I left Trader Required on in the depot, didn't I? Whoopsie! Sure, she's fine. Yes. She loves being our broker. The clink of coin, the art of the deal, the grackle. Fun fact, a grackle is a sweet little black bird and not the big hairy cave monster I envisioned before purchase. Big disappointment. I'll tell you what wasn't a big disappointment though. Lukey has petitioned to become a full citizen. Just in time to get attacked by a rampaging group of dingo men. Gave better than he took if you ask me though. Yes, his hand's pretty banged up, but let me tell you, he's a demon with that instrument of his. Yes, he's already proven his worth to Channelglazes. Oh, where's he gone? His hand's still torn open. Has the hospital run out of supplies? No. And it's definitely still a hospital. And we've got doctors assigned? Yes. Sad to say this goes on for quite a while, and many of you are probably shouting, the screen doesn't update while you're on it, so we'll just skip to after I stop talking about it. I would say after I figure it out, but that was 30 seconds ago for script writing Phlegm, so you'd get no video. I think it would pack quite a punch, see? He's brandishing his earthenware Luke like a true warrior. Marvellous. What's our crockery-wielding guardian up to now, I wonder? Ah, praying to an imaginary deity. Disappointing, but I think we can let it slide. Oh, meditating on fortresses now. Oh, well, he's multitasking. Now, I know we're a Dwarven fortress, and we're going for the whole traditional diggy hole aesthetic, but our three humans have all just been such fantastic characters. I think I might have to spend some time in the archives and discern exactly how these scrawny head knockers do what they do. We most certainly need more of them, and the prickleberries are just not doing the trick. I found another one of those stinking, slinking dingo men. The squad is on the way. Come into my fortress and attack my humans, will you? Where's Col? Get him! Yes, dead, and nothing more than you deserve. Bleh. No, it would appear all the commotion has agitated a flock of giant ravens, and one of them has torn into our poor Col. Ah, I bet she threw the fight on purpose to play the pity card. I'm on to you, you freaky little... See, she's fine. What hideously mangled individual could carry themselves back to hospital? Well, other than Catton. Here she is, lying unconscious and injured. I know a gentle catnap when I see one. She feels restless after resting. Silly Dwarf Fortress. Well, she's up and about now, and perhaps I should apologise to her. Permanent motor nerve damage and both arms required suturing. Doesn't appear to have slowed her down any... Damn it. Catton's chirpy optimism is catching. You've just been mauled by Sky Beast, you fungus-brain nitwit. The sane thing to do would be to spend the next month gibbering in the corner, not sneaking drinks direct from the still. Wait, she's attending a meeting? On the surface? She's heading off to where she downed that dang dingo man. Perhaps to say a few words. Let's listen in. Ah, how very pleasant. She's still looking for that meeting, and I believe that means specifically with Thighcut, our expedition leader. though you wouldn't know it from the way she's meandering round and round the fortress. Let me just cut to when she finds Thicut's office. Ha! Quite the meeting. What was that, 2 seconds? No, I suppose with the time dilation it was probably more like half a day. We never talk about how weird time is in this game, do we? When a breastplate can be completed in the same time it takes a dwarf to eat a sandwich. Just be thankful it isn't 1-to-1. We'd still be unloading the wagons. Col should be fine anyway. I'll take her out of the military and let her get back to making a damn nuisance of herself. Perhaps Thicut will appreciate a little help with the plant gathering. Certainly a thought. Hello, your highness. Don't mind the pile of assorted corpses. Did you have a nice trip? No, I can't imagine you did. Thicut was in her office, but I think, yes, there you go, you've got her. The world's the same as ever. No surprise there. On with the lack of surprises, we're asking for drinks and a little thread. Yes, because I was worried by the stocks in the hospital. No, we don't actually need anything. Then Relic shimmered are asking for headwear and footwear, which just makes me want to sell them belts. And that's it, all done. I think she'll probably... yes, there she goes. Straight into the Candies of Wire to listen to Emtha's poem and... unfortunately to witness Col fighting over scraps with one of the mangy moggies. So sorry, your highness. Trading will be a simple affair once again. However, we shall be dipping our toes into the murky pool of slave trading. We caught a bunch of those dingo men, and after saving a breeding pair, I'm not having the rest hanging around making the stockpiles look untidy. So yes, off they go, and no, I don't feel the tiniest bit bad. A script writing phlegm here again. No, I didn't know, and don't you spoil it for those that don't know either. It's not like they lay eggs. So we'll just let the dwarves start gathering up all the things, and then I'll send Rimtar down to start haggling. We're following Thicut right now. I noticed that she was looking kind of blue, and she's far too instrumental to the running of the fortress for that to continue. So I can see that she wants to acquire something, like half the bloody fortress. She's looking to be extravagant. Not sure how I feel about that. And she wants to be with family, none of whom live at the fortress. At least we could possibly deal with the want for martial training. Maybe get a second squad filled out with the fortress's administrators. Just to ensure they don't end up on the business end of a troll by mistake. Oh, do be careful going out, Thicut. Wait, was that a dingo man? I guess not. Oh, come on. There are other dwarves that can drag the water buffalo back into pasture. No need to trouble yourself. What in the name of me is all that racket? Oh dear. It would appear we got infiltrated by another pack of dingo men. Not to worry though. I'm sure the dwarves will all have it in hand. Script writing phlegm here. Yes, all right, you can all stop laughing. So, it would appear that the dwarves refuse to sell sentient beings. So when we sent those cages to the depot, the dwarves dumped the contents in favour of a beautiful unburdened cage, releasing the sodding dingoman into the fortress again. Mass murder and child labour, all dandy, but you draw the line at selling people. Really, Mr. Adams? Wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Our very own Queen Ervad. She beat it to a bloody pulp with her bare hands. It's a pile of dingo-y bits outside the Candies of Wire now. I tell you what, don't want to get on her bad side, mine no. With all the blood and violence our poor dwarves have had to deal with recently, it should surprise nobody that moods are not at all where I would like them to be. Thicut is a particularly stressed individual, but she's not that much worse than the majority of the others. So, what I've done is get the dwarves to roll a couple of good barrels of food and drink into the Candies of Wire, set up a burrows that encompasses this floor and the small temple only, and I plan to let the grumpy little sods get their party on. So far it's not going particularly well. I don't know where everybody is, but I do know that Col is following Thicot around and moaning incessantly at her. Hopefully that won't continue. I really want Thicot to let her hair down. There we go. Much better. We've got a big group of dwarves just relaxing socially in the tavern now, and joy of joys, Col is in her bedroom, sleeping like a baby. We'll have to send somebody in to clear up the mess when she wakes up, but that is a problem for the future. For now, we can just be glad that the mood in Channelglazes is on the rise. Ah, damn, spoke too soon. No, don't bother Thicot, she's going to sleep. Yes, that's it. Go back to your own room and climb up onto the cabinet. I did mention she was 2 eels short of a pie. At least the party in the Candies of Wire is continuing well. Ugh, what a mess. If we'd gotten some more migrants already, we wouldn't need to waste all this time de-stressing. My kingdom for 10 to 12 more stout little bodies to jam into some manufacturing processes. Oh, this is beyond ridiculous. We're going to need to keep that wretched dwarf busy somehow. Whilst everybody else is enjoying the downtime, these two are in a tight spiral, destination depression, and the most infuriating part of all of this is I'm not even sure Col speaks Dwarvish. I can't help you if you don't... I don't understand! Yes, I thought not. No, whoopsie. Seems like the drinks ran out and I didn't notice. Well, I guess that means party over. Go on, get yourselves gone, my little beauties. Well, it wasn't a complete waste of time. The mood in general has improved, but Thicot was my focus, I'll be honest, and, well, things didn't go as planned. Ah, Emtha's getting that poem out regardless, it would seem. Silly human. Oh, and here's something I forgot to mention. The giant thrips in our cage here actually gave birth to twin babies. Our first birth in the fortress. Isn't that lovely? Not sure how, precisely. Not like she had any eggs, but still a lovely occasion. Any suggestions for names, just pop a comment in below. Oh, finally! It's only taken 2 bloody years, but migrants have finally made their way here to Channelglazes. Now, I was a little busy when the message popped up, so we missed seeing the majority walk in. But it's not an issue, because I noted the migrants brought this duckling with them. Allow me to just bestow it with a rudimentary sentience, and provide it with the knowledge of my existence. There. Now we can follow it as it waddles off to the temple to prostrate itself in a healthy fear of the deific. Look at its little legs go, jumping off the roof of the trade depot. Oh, he's trembling. Lovely. Oh, look, the humans are here. Still haven't opened up the doors to the caverns, so they aren't having much monster hunting to do. But never mind. Right, I'd better remove my influence from that duck and let the dwarves send him up to pasture. Well, maybe just the second thing. Oh me, I'm naughty. In less silly news, here we have Channelglazes' first dwarven child. A little Cubuck here joined us in the migrant wave, and now he's helping out in the near-surface stockpile that I still need to dismantle and move. Ah, so much work to do. Good lord, look at the mess of dwarves. I think one central staircase might not be doing the trick anymore, nor the single thin corridor above. More dwarves means needing more space. Who'd have thunk it? Ah, well, we'll get to work soon. Oh, how precious. He's playing make-believe with the cut gems. I wonder what he'll be when he's all grown up. I'll be watching you with great interest, little one. Core, look at this. We ordered up some more bedrooms. Well, we needed them. And they've absolutely flown up. Look at this efficiency. Can't moan about that. By me, no. Still got a handful more to do, but with this formidable workforce, I'm not concerned at all. Summer is upon us, and so the humans make their way into our fortress. We've been preparing for them. I've had the dwarves turning bone into figurines. We had something of a surplus of that specific material, and it seemed silly for it to just go to waste. In all honesty, I wish the humans would just stop coming. It's becoming a real struggle having enough goods to trade with two separate caravans. And at least the Dwarven caravans from Relicshire would bring us clothing we can actually bloody wear. And the dwarves go through the trade entrance. By the brass knobs on my bath taps, would you stop bringing your filthy animals to our fortress proper? We've only got the one tile-wide corridor upstairs. Maybe it's time to close off the old entrances. Anyway, we're going to leave the humans setting up. I've been working on an issue we had during the party, and I want to show it off before we part for another fortnight. And here it is. Welcome to the new food and drink preparation and storage area for the candies of wire. I've been meaning to consolidate all consumables deeper into the fortress for a while now, and running out of everything at the party really underlined the need. No, and ignore the fact I've set up 2 stills. The top one should be a kitchen, but you know what it's like when you've been manifesting for hours. All the words start to bleed together. Here's the candies of wire with the 2 new staircases at the back. Form undiminished and function very much improved. Can't wait to see it used. And that's it. Another journey to the dimension of destiny completed. Another step on the road to cultural and spiritual dominance, stepped on. As usual, it has been my pleasure to entertain you today. Thank you so much for your kind words of encouragement and joy, and I wish you all a very fine day. Anus Eshon, my friends. Anus Eshon. Kutam milunudi zuamid. Yes, welcome one and all to this fortnight's spooktastic installment of everybody's favourite fear-inducing horror fest that is Channelglazes. It's almost Halloween, don't you know, so I've prepped some horrible surprises for our little dwarves. Oh, yes. The first of which is forgetting I left the civilians in the burrows whilst I was winding down from last episode. So now they're having an unsanctioned relaxation session. Yes, that's right, Mr. Thumbs. I should probably explain. Mr. Thumbs is a soundboard budgerigar, and I'm bird-sitting for the weekend. Daddy Snod had to go looking for a new job, didn't he, Mr. Thumbs? Yes, such a pretty bird. Pretty bird. Oh, no, I don't like that. Anyway, back to Channelglazes. The civilians got off easy. I'll soon discover our warriors of the mysterious tongues all stood to attention in their barracks, half-starved and spitting feathers. I say soon, I mean a few months. Little harsh, but it's fine. They're fine. They will be fine. Moving on, we had a teeny tiny migrant wave consisting of these two, Libash and Lorbam. Oh, that's going to get old fast. Off they go anyway, making themselves useful. Hello, Lukey. How's that hand doing? Everybody's favourite human bard spends quite a lot of time in the temple, to be honest. Really should nip that worship of false idols in the bud. Talking of nipping buds, take a look at these leaf-munching little beasts. The mother appears to have passed on. That is to say that she's a ghost, yes. Ooh, spooky. Oh, come on, you stupid bird, work with me. We've decided to name them Reg and Nell, and I plan to get the dwarves to train them up as horrifying weapons of war. Or pets, I don't know. Ah, yes, our resident monster hunters, sharing thrilling tales of, oh my me! Look! It happened! Emtha and Ngojo are lovers!
I love you, sugar.
That's right, Mr. Thumbs. Incredibly unsettling, but absolutely right. I mean, spooky. Yes, absolutely nothing scarier than a new relationship. All that swapping of bodily fluids and commitment. Oh, damn the season of the witch. I can't pretend to be anything but excited. Just think. We may soon have a clutch of human eggs, and not long after, a flock of little babies. Which reminds me, we should probably start making the cages. I learned my lesson from Col. I'm not having all the dwarves' time taken up by hauling the kiddies' cloacal condiments. And Emtha is singing. Now, if that were it would fit the season. Hehe. I'm so happy for our little lovebirds. And here's another thing to be happy about. It's Queen Ervad. She's on Thighcut's trail, which will take her off course onto our industrial level, as our expedition leader has been burning wood. But it won't take her long to get to the office. There we go. The world is the same as ever. Spooky, you mean? Yes. We're going to ask for some clothing this year. Just chest coverings, as we've been making our own silken cat trousers for a while now. Oh, and drinks, though honestly I just add them to ask for something nowadays. Crossbows for Relic Shimmered. Oh, they must have started up the hurling contests again. Now that is truly terrifying. Best of luck, Your Highness. Off to the tavern, then you're... Oh. No, the temple. No. Straight out of the fortress. Ha. Wonder what her problem was. On to the trading. Ah, bloody bird. You can't do that, Mr. Thumbs. Where was I? Ah, yes, trading. And I've asked the dwarves to start bringing some odds and sods to sell. A little bit of a mishmash, as our stocks are low on trading goods. State of our stockpiles is the real horror story here. Spooky. Oh no, look at these little idiots. We've got the mysterious Tongs off duty after their 3-month standing to attention ordeal, and so they've popped their armour onto the stands in the barracks. Which is causing the civilian dwarves to relocate the pieces to the armour stockpile, which in turn makes the warriors rush to the stockpile to re-outfit the stands. This is a well-known bug in the Dwarf Fortress community, and seeing as they're slow enough without wearing armour everywhere, I'm probably just going to delete the stockpiles. This is what happens when your civilization runs on alcohol. Ridiculous. Oh, what a failure of trading this is! 5 bags of seeds and a handful of duck eggs. Oh, ignore the grackle. Turns out the tiny little bird is too much for the caravan's decrepit old horse to wangle weight-wise. I'll have to dig up some more quality merchandise. Spooky. Here's something that I've been teasing for a while. Just south of the temple, we now have 2 little areas set up for our beastman pairs. Dingo and Skink respectively. I did mess the design up somewhat. The rooms were supposed to be taller, with the bedrooms hidden off much further below. But it doesn't really matter. They've got beds in their little private areas, so they can get to know their little private areas. And if it ever becomes clear that they need to eat and drink, we can drop them sustenance from above. We will need to beware with the skinks. It turns out they can climb up walls, but the dingoes should be fine, and we may even be able to use them as... pest removal? Uh-oh! Uh-oh indeed, Mr. Thumbs. Oh, look! Low Gem has withdrawn from society. I was wondering when my tinkering would take effect. He'll have been feeling the change happening over the last few moons. Losing want for trivial things like bread and wine, drawn instead to the prepared innards. Feasting on flesh, his tastes darken ruby red until now. Now he looks to his fellow dwarf with a hideous hunger, but disgusted with himself he turns away, and... What's he doing? Oh, for the love of me, he's just working? Ah, false alarm. Sorry, everyone. I guess we'll cut back when he's done. And here it is, Nemadarbia, a large cut gem. Whoopee! No, perfect fortification agate. That is encrusted with radiant cut fortification agate. Yo, Dingo, I heard you like gems. Am I right? Anyway, I guess it's pretty enough, so we'll forge up a gold pedestal and display it in the temple. Yes, there we go. Just nobody tell Eggman. One giant hedgehog is enough for this series, thank you. Oh, would you look at the lovebirds? I do hope everything is still going well for them. I keep meaning to change Ngojo's bedroom so they're sharing the love jug. Yuck! Come now, Mr. Thumbs. The name is a little off-putting, but the sentiment behind it is adorable. Yuck! No, there's no pleasing some budgies. We'll see you two later anyway. Try not to get into any trouble. I've decided we'll take a look into what our broker is up to. For no particular reason. Yes, indeed, nothing supernatural going on here. She's burning wood right now. Much like everybody else in the fortress, she's become very proficient at burning wood. We're still creating glass blocks, you see, and if you'll remember, the process involves a lot of burning wood, so... yes. But Rimtar isn't bothered by the extra work. She's an incredibly dependable dwarf, though not in a fight. Pusillanimous, unfortunately. Oh, where is she going? Off to haul that big hunk of limonite? Aha! Watch now, as she bursts forth with unnatural super-dwarven strength, tossing the boulder as though it were a mere pebble and, What? Why is she going so slowly? Oh, it's not working! Why is it not working? Oh, I may as well come clean. I wanted to have a really exciting, horror-filled episode for Halloween. So I took a trip back to the Dimension of Destiny's primordial soup and added a hard buzz of Worcestershire sauce. I was sure we'd be up to our eyebrows in werebeasts and vampires by now. So disappointing. Oh yes, that's right, Mr. Thumbs. Oh well, on to the everyday workings of the fortress, I guess. Here's something I mentioned I'd sought last episode. A new barracks for the barricaded pools, which just so happens to be a squad made up of all the fort's administrators. Oh, and Kolkol, always best to keep her busy. I've lined it with bookcases to make them feel at home, and we'll be adding tables and chairs once the dwarves carve some up. I figured it can pull double duty as a library. Catan is the squad leader. Despite what I think of her, it's still impossible to not acknowledge her prowess and leadership qualities. Plus, making her head of the pen pushers is the snubbiest snub I can think of. She has, of course, taken to it with gusto and is performing admirably, because she's a git. Mr. Thumbs? What are you... Oh no! Giant buzzards! They're heading in! Okay, we had you all training for this. Come on, mysterious tongs. Oh me, look at the size of them. The animals have all fled their pasture. Should probably get walls up. And here they come. Oh, they're absolutely destroying them. Go, my beautiful dwarfs, and there's one left. I've sent the warriors the kill command, and no amount of being a big feathery bastard will save it from their ironclad grasp. Way, they did it! And look, the hospital is empty, because there's nary a scratch upon a one of them. I'd say this calls for a celebration. What do you say to a drink, Mr. Thumbs? I'll take that as a yes. Oh, ho, ho, yes! See, I knew they could do it. And yes, I was a little concerned. It's spring now, and with how much the dwarves have done, I think they've more than earned a little rest. So with the kitchen stockpile fully stocked, we've switched the burrows on, and we'll let the little beauties get some well-deserved rest. Yes, Mr. Thumbs, such a pretty bird. You know, while the dwarves relax, I think it's high time I got a few things off my chest. I tend to bite my toenails, I often pick my nose, I wait till you're not looking, then I wipe it on your clothes, I chew with my mouth open, and I wear too much cologne, I always turn loudspeaker on when answering the phone. I wear ladies' underwear. Mr. Thumbs! Locking me out was bad enough, but what on earth are you singing about?
Loser!
Did Snodford get you to do this?
Bingo!
I'm going to bloody kill him, but not before you. Get here, you nasty little... Snodford, you filthy little hobgoblin, I'm going to get you back for this. Get back here, you flappy little sod. Well, what an absolute disaster that was. No, before we get to the end of the episode proper, I just had to share this little moment of Cubuck, the only dwarven child at the fortress, playing in buffalo vomit on the surface. His parents must be so proud. Oh, and additionally, in all the excitement with Mr. Thumbs, I didn't get to mention the fact that our two thrips, Reg and Nell, appear to have disappeared. I didn't ask anyone to train them, didn't get chance. So I asked the dwarves to remove the cage, which they did, dumping it where it is now, inches from where it was. Bloody dwarves. But yes, I'm wrapping this episode up. As always, it has been my pleasure to entertain you. Keep yourselves safe in this world gone mad, and I shall see you next time. Anus Eshon, you wonderful individuals. Anus Eshon. I'm going to get straight to it today, as one of those new migrants we got, Lorbam to be specific, has gone all strange moody on us, which means she's setting to making something noteworthy. Here she is, on the prowl for some quality materials. No, gypsum? Well, that's disappointing. Hopefully she'll go digging in the gem bin for adornments at least. That's the thing with these artifacts. Unless you want to go around forbidding every odd and sod, they're going to be made with whatever the odd little sods can get their hands on. No, yes, it does look as though she's after a little something extra. And it's going to be... Mulmerian leather. How disgusting. Oh, for anyone not in the know, a Mulmerian is a naked mole rat with the head and torso of a naked mole rat man, where its naked mole rat body's head should be. If you can imagine a centaur, but somehow pulled inside out, you're not a million miles away. Intelligent enough to swing a sword, but not so much that a dwarf won't blink at eating it, or skinning it in this case. Yes, I'm sure whatever Lorbam is creating will be just lovely. While we wait for her to finish tinkering, I'll take some time to give you all the proper welcome you deserve. Kutam Milunodizuamid, you wonderful human beings. How have you been? Well, the doctor did tell you to stop scratching it, but never mind, it's lovely to see you all. Since last we spoke, I've been a busy little cosmic bee. We've got a swanky new Crumpet Sounds Patreon, an email address, mail@crumpetsounds.com, matching thumbnails for all the prior episodes, bloody finally, and a sprinkle of other spiffy little changes that just scream, finally taking this YouTube thing seriously. I can't wait to start receiving the beautiful bounty of nonsense I know you weirdos are capable of with the email. By my reckoning, we should be at the 200 subscriber mark by the time you're watching this, so that's a good amount of awful crayon stick figure representations of the life at Channelglazes I'm expecting. Oh, and while we're on the subject, do subscribe if you haven't. Get in on the ground floor of this future skyscraper of silliness. Oh, Lobam is done. Musod Kokeb. It's a little statue of... Oh no. Right, here it is. Musod Kokeb. A shale figurine of dwarves, except it isn't of bloody dwarves, is it? It's that damnable boat. The artwork relates to the founding of Labelord in early spring of the Dimension of Destiny's second year. Like snod it does. The whole point of Labelord was to get a real Dwarven fortress going. It was the cat's idea to make the boat, and I knew it wouldn't bloody work. Oh, and you see this lanky pillock at the front? This is supposedly Law, our king. The same one sharing the queen with, well, whoever they are. Well, he's got a bowl on his head, and he's opening a bottle with his teeth from the wrong end, which was the only reason I knew who he was. Looks nothing like him otherwise. Then, she's used the Molmerian leather to make, and I quote, four-sided prisms, which is utter gibberish as far as I can tell. Ah, dwarves. Speaking of dwarves, most of ours are on the surface, swatting agitated wildlife. Thankfully, the ordinary kind. This time it's vultures, and as squishy as they are, it's a real pain having to chase them around the desert because they won't stay in range of the spears. Thinking maybe it's time to utilize a few of those dwarven bowyers I've noticed wandering the halls. Actually, no, we can't really spare the wood. Sweet baby me, do I wish we had access to the caves. Ah, the human caravans have arrived. Wonderful. I was just wondering how we'd survive without socks we can't wear and instruments we can't play. I suppose there's Lukey and the lovebirds, but a whole caravan for them seems excessive. The caravanners can't be having the nicest of times either. It's mangled corpses as far as the eye can see on the surface. We're just waiting for them to decay into mangled skeletons. Then I'll have the dwarves rip around and make up some jewellery or something. Won't that be lovely? Stinky vulture bone necklaces for all. Maybe that'd stop the humans coming. Oh look, they're actually using the trade entrance. It only took, 4 years? I could train a dog to tap dance faster than that. Oh, let's leave them setting up. I believe I can hear something going on the surface again anyway. Oh, damn it. Seems like we had more agitated vultures after that last few, and these new ones have killed one of our dwarves. Toulon, we barely knew ye. Or, actually, we didn't know ye in the slightest. Lorbam we do know, though. Yes, she of Musod Kokeb fame. She's heading off to the hospital after she beat 2 vultures to death with her bare hands. I guess we know why there's no such thing as a dwarven chisel. She's been carving stone with her fingers. We'll let her rest up. Somebody will be over to get her patched up soon, I'm sure. Oh dear. Very battered around the top, though only a couple of cuts by the look of things. She'll be fine. Tell you who won't be fine, little Toulon here. Though her ghost won't wander the halls now we've set up this lovely little tomb for her. We got the dwarves to smooth it up and add some little engravings. Even Kolkol got involved. Hers is apparently an image of an apple. I daren't look closer at it, so let's leave it at that. Yes, a well-made stone coffin, a statue of a dwarf. What more could a corpse need? Bloody superstitions. Made worse by ghosts being real, of course. I mean, you don't see me trying to appease the bloody postman, so why make all that fuss over someone just 'cause they float a bit now? I'm telling you, dwarven nonsense is what it is. Oh, Col, leave the damn apple. We're with Lorbam again now. Her work with the vultures redeemed her somewhat after that sodding boat statue. Oh, and look at her. Poor thing's battered like a chip shop sausage, and her left upper arm, skin, has been dented? No idea what that means. Can you leave a dent in something squishy? It doesn't seem to have slowed her down any. Look, she's helping to build the new wall around our pasture. She seems like another highly dependable dwarf, if a little too cheerful. Bloody Gatten. Now, she says she's a legendary stone carver, and I have no reason to believe otherwise. But that does mean she's become so in the last year, as when she arrived she was just a talented fish cleaner. Doesn't take a genius to notice the distinct lack of fish here, so obviously she had to keep busy. What I'm saying is we'd ordered hundreds of thrones, tables and statues in the last year, and it would appear that Lorbam made every single one of them. It's rather sad that she's made herself so obviously indispensable on the production floor, because she's precisely the type of dwarf I would love to take over from Thighcut. Ah, well. Oh, and she has, of course, dabbled in the glass-making process, because, I mean, who hasn't? Oh, look, we've got another migrant wave. Well, migrant droplet, anyway. This is Ast, and... just let me clear this. There we go. Yes, this is Ast, and when he stops being tormented by agitated vultures, I'm sure he'll make his way into the fortress. Yes, there he goes. Now, Ast is an adequate woodcutter, and never before have those words sounded as good to me as they do now here at Channelglazes. Once he's acquainted himself with the others and had a little rest, we'll get him back on the surface dodging critters and felling trees. He's an unassertive, emotional obsessive. Sounds like me as a teenager. Moving on. Here you can see the permanent pasture protection. It's an ugly rock-salt wall that should give our warriors somewhere specific to guard to protect our buffalo from the feathery maggot factories above. I've added an enclosed space in the vain hope that the dumb beasts will know to run for cover, but I'm not holding my breath. You know, I'm not actually certain whether pastured animals deplete the grasses in the area, so I'm probably going to need to keep an eye on this. Save it turning into a slab of barren rock covered in dead buffalo. Here you can see the roof just being finished off. Nothing fancy, simple flat top. I mean, it's not like it ever rains. Here's something I wasn't expecting to worry about. The Dwarven caravans haven't arrived yet, and we're into the second week of early autumn. I made all that noise before about being fed up dealing with multiple trade caravans in a year. It would be just like my luck for relic shipment to ignore us for a while. Damn. Nothing much we can do about it if they are. We aren't in desperate need of anything really, but I was planning on buying a load of clothing. Ever since we locked up the doors to the Cavern, we've been hurting on textiles. Then again, maybe we should just focus on leather. Look at all of those cats! It doesn't seem to matter how many rounds of butchering I order. There's always more bloody cats. Honestly, I'd cull every tiddles and socks from the fortress, but sometimes I think they're the only thing stopping Col from running rampant. Oh, and I should quickly point out that we've widened the corridor up here too. Not sure if I haven't already mentioned it, but it is such a lovely corridor that I don't think it hurts to draw attention to it twice. What? It's a nice corridor. Oh, here they are. Thank me. Hello, your highness. I hope the trip wasn't too bad. I wonder if the delay was something tangible. Does Dwarf Fortress map the movement of individuals on the world map? I have no idea, but how fabulous would that be? I'm getting a lot of slowdown from all the cats right now, so let's skip the crawl to Thykot's office, eh? There we go. Oh my! The Queen is offering us the chance to turn Channelglazes into an official land of the realm. That means a barony. One of our little citizens is about to become a baron. I can scarcely believe this good news. I have some recommendations. Now, I know we're a Dwarven fortress, but hear me out. Lukey. He's been with us from the start, or as early on as to make no difference. He's fought for the fortress, has quite the baronal bearing, and a human baron might mean favourable trading prices with his countrymen. Such a significant decision as this is far too important to spend too much time ruminating on. Lukey it is! Now, with that done, it feels a little jarring to just get straight to trading requests, but there you are. We're asking for cloth, gold, and drinks. Relics you would want. Blocks? Come to the right place. We've got blocks, especially rock salt, coming out of our hairy ears. Anyway, I do hope you'll stick around this time, Your Highness. Very good. Enjoy the candies of wire. Anus Ashon. Trading will be a simple affair. I've been stockpiling prepared meals, and we're going to trade them for those clothes I was talking about, some drinks, and the fixing for some more meals down the road. Dwarves can't live on cat alone, though at Channelglazes we give it a damn good try. Ooh! I was just about to wind down the episode when one of our stonecrafters went into a strange mood. Here she is, Atia, a High Master stonecrafter. Now, I don't pretend to know whether that's better than legendary or not. I'd assume not. But regardless, let's give her a second and see what she makes. Saiboshvukas, which is a Newden made from limonite. A Newden is apparently like a piano? Similar in function, anyway. Yes, it's a big stone piano, and it's worth a considerable amount of dwarf bucks. So, of course, Atir has claimed it as a family heirloom. Then somehow stored it in one of the little iron chests in the candies of wire. Dwarves. Oh ho ho, here it is! I was wondering when it would take effect. Cat and Ficod, that's Channelglazes to you and me, and the surrounding lands have been made a barony. On the 5th of Sandstone, year 14. Oh, what a glorious day! Though there appears to have been an error. Lukey doesn't seem to have been chosen as Baron. Wait, were my recommendations simply that? To be taken under advisement? Well, that's an utter nonsense. So, who did they make the Baron? No. Kutam ilunu dizu amid. Yes, welcome back to Channelglazes. So, I reviewed the footage, and it would appear that I did, in fact, recommend Catton become our new Baroness. Stupid fat fingers. What's worse is that this would apparently count as one of those pivotal moments in history, and undoing it could cause the fabric of reality to be devoured by the moths of chaos. Now, I've only recently cleared an infestation of the termites of avarice, so I'm not having that again.
Anywhere's fine. That was that same plant, wasn't it? All plant look same to me. What? Flat?
Then there's that infestation. I think I mentioned Snodford had lost his job. Seems the job search hasn't gone well, and with the government cracking down on personal benefits, it was this or no he's sleeping rough again. Oh, and of course, Mr. Thumbs. Pretty bird. I bloody warned you about that. Oh, and it begins. Not been Baroness for 5 minutes and she's already mandating. Alright then, what is it the Lady Bombast actually wants us to produce? A single breastplate? Trust Catton of all dwarves to be completely reasonable. I bet she even said please. No, for the love of me, she's even making the damn thing herself. You have people for that now, your Bombast. It's all well and good not wanting to be a burden, but it's hardly a mandate of the aristocracy if you demand a new painting and then get out the paints. Learning your new responsibilities from the Ladybird Book of Nobility by any chance? So silly. Now you're off to make a bone ring whilst proud to have a mandate deadline met. Yes, it was such a difficult thing to do, wasn't it? Honestly. Oh, here we go. She's imposed a ban on certain exports. Much more regal. As I suspected, it is breastplates. Now, this isn't as toothless as it seems. This does mean all breastplates, not simply the one that she made. On the other hand, we don't have a surplus of armour, and so wouldn't be in the market to relinquish any. Beggars can't be choosers. Well done, Lady Bombast. Oh, hang on. What's this? Is that all of our iron? I spoke too soon. Here you can see the ridiculous Vanity project begun in the name of our Baroness. A huge iron block pit, entered via an iron block ramp, open above and walled with clear glass blocks. The dwarves have started what I thought was going to be a flat, clear glass roof, but I have since learned that they're going to be more glass block walls on these, as what her Bombast desires most is a big bloody pyramid. I thought you were their god. Don't you control everything they do? What? No, you can't control dwarves directly, you just nudge them towards things you'd like them to do. Oh, and this is Snodford, everybody. Say hello, Snodford. Hello, Snodford. Hilarious. So, that dwarf kid I saw lugging rocks round, he's doing that of his own volition? Yes, that's little Cubuck, a strange individual to be sure. Blimey, I think I'll keep to my rim world. I prefer precision to this chaos. It's not as bad as all that, I just believe my dwarves deserve free will. And that is why you spend all your time cleaning up after them. Wouldn't catch me flopping around after my colonists. No, my colonies run like the finest of Swiss watches. Really? Well, perhaps you should get back to them then. Yes? Oh, alright. Bye, everyone. Thinks he's so clever because he records himself. Backseat deity. No, and don't be concerned by the figure watching Cubuck sleep. That's just Cubuck. Cubuck's father. And here is Doomad, Cubuck's mother. When they arrived, she got stuck in burning wood, because no duh. But recently she's been beavering away... hyenaing away? Anyway, she's become something of a dab hand with the bone carving, which is great, because I've been attempting to trick the dwarves into putting some of the rings she's made on, so they stop moaning about acquiring stuff. And here's Cubuck, Cubuck's father. Now he's a fantastic lie maker, at least that's what Doomad says. He's not really found his purpose in the fortress as of yet. He's one of those individuals I'm eyeing for a second squad. He's a little rusty, but his combat skills are literally adequate. Oh look, there he goes, off to bed. Now, I believe the three of them are sharing a room at the moment. Yes, I thought so. Well, I'm busy right now, but we'll add separate bedrooms to the to-do list. And this is what I'm busy with. A mine track. We're watching Thighcut place the cart now. She's so miserable. Horrible to see. Anyway, minecart. I've got a small project in mind for later that will require uniform blocks, and we've dug all this shale, but just watching the little sods lug those boulders around hurts my back, so yes, minecart. And here they go, all filling it. Oh, hello, Lukey. Getting your hands dirty, I see. Good man, that, man. No, even little Cubuck is helping. Oh, or playing make-believe in the thing. And it's off! Down this freshly dug tunnel. Past the hatches for our sentient zoo and halting at the stockpile here. Where... why isn't it dumping? Did it dump? No, the boulders are still in the cart. What gives? Oh, you stupid deity. I forgot to add a track stop. Bear with me. Here we go. Oh, wait, hold it. Just paused things for a moment to mention that on top of adding the track stop, I've fiddled with the stockpile so the dwarves don't keep transferring boulders by hand. Only movement of rocks I want to see involves this cart now. And with that said, let's watch it go. And down the ramp. Zoo! Oh no! Oh my! Cuba! Back to playing. Look at that! Dwarven resilience! I'd like to see one of Snod's colon cysts survive a hit like that. Wouldn't happen. Not in a million years, but, yes, somebody should take the poor lad down to the hospital anyway. Have him checked over. Now we can get back to the minecart testing. The dwarves should fill her up with stones, and if we wait a few moments, they'll all bugger off. Hang on. Here. No, that's Catton, ignoring my stockpile commands. Where on my green dimension is everyone? Here we are. One of our warriors, clad in full armour and carrying a final boulder for the cart. I can practically hear his little muscles popping. But of course he's not going to push the dang minecart. Oh, finally! Thank you, Locum. Thought my head was going to explode. You're just moving that spear. I am going to scream. Cog! Cog, you most delectable of bookkeepers, please! Yes! We have movement! Then look at the smooth action. Who knows how many tons of rock being shifted by a pencil pusher? Then we've got the dump and the kickoff. Ha! How's that for precision? Oh, this is going to save so much time and effort, I can feel it. And down she goes. Oof! Okay, perhaps we should add a cart stop at the bottom to prevent people being forcibly married to the rock wall. Oh no! All that time focused on the minecart, I completely missed Muthcat's desperate fight for his life. Now all that's left is his corpse. His sweaty corpse. Cubuck's back from the hospital and feeling fine, by which I mean he's happy to be drunk and terrified after his trauma, though apparently witnessing Muthcat's death by vulture aerobics hasn't affected him, so that's good. Now, his ability to stand has been lost, but it doesn't seem to have stopped him outright, so I'm calling that a win too. Let's take a look at his injuries. Oh, left foot bone smashed open. Painful however you slice it, but I can't imagine he won't make a full recovery. I wonder what he's up to, hobbling off to the surface like that. Oh, he's dropping off some rotten meals. Such a diligent little fellow. Battered, broken, bruised, and yet still an integral little cog in the machine of the fortress. And now he's playing in the rotten food next to the corpse of Muthcat. Can anybody else hear that noise? I've let a little time pass, and now we have a tomb set up for Muthcat next to the one already dug out for Toulon. Similar fare, engraving, statue, etc. I know I made a fuss about it last episode, but I suppose it's not all that bad, having somewhere to go to remember our fallen dwarves. Toothcat and Mullon, you shall be missed. Tell you who apparently really can't be missed, it's bloody Cubuck. Emphasis on bloody, as he's been messing around on the mine track again and taken another pummeling. Luckily, the brunt of the damage was absorbed by his clothes, but it's becoming clear the boy has a death wish. Let's calm things down a little. Here you can see the warriors of the Mysterious Tongs training, and I'll direct your attention to the fact that they are now all fully armoured. Not only that, but they've all got 1 or 2 solid iron spears and a full-length iron shield. The plan, if you hadn't guessed, is to eventually have these 10 individuals sharpened to lethal points, so as we can launch them at the Sea of Serpentmen I'm sure are still flooding the Cavern. To that end, I'd say they still have a ways to go. So I've switched the squad to constant training, and I don't care how long it takes, we're going to regain access to those damn caverns, if just so our dwarves stop being set upon by desert critters. Oh, come on, Cubuck, get a hobby! Oh, looks like he has, mumbling to himself and scribbling runes on shale shards with a piece of charcoal. Let's have a listen in.
Dark and cruel this existence mine, born by the uncaring. Solace, my one true confidant entwined, bound to the screaming that my eyes can't taste. Loss and loss again. Crap, I dropped my charcoal. Loss again, I say. Oh, that's the shield gone. Why don't we have any sodding paper?
Okay, I think that's enough corpses for him. Also, unrelatedly, get away from the mine track! No! Moving on, I've decided that as Catton's pyramid won't be completed for probably another 8 episodes, it's perhaps a good idea to set her up some more suitable accommodations down here in the fortress. Plus, I'm hoping that if we get her settled, we might be able to persuade her to scrap the whole stupid idea. I don't want to seem bitter, but I had plans for all that iron, and none of them involved becoming flooring. Now, we're still waiting for the majority of the shale blocks to be crafted up, but I've got a basic idea for how I want it to go, so the dwarves are already smoothing the floor ready for their future carvings. Maybe I'll lock Col in the rooms for a week or 2. See how Catton likes them apples. Oh no. Oh no. It happened. I never imagined it would actually happen. I assumed the wooden cart was simply too light to do any real damage, but it actually happened. Playing on the tracks, little Cubuck was struck by the minecart as it clattered back to the track stop. Though he survived the initial collision, eventually the front wheels rolled over him, but the back, with their momentum already deadened, clove him asunder. Today is a dark, dark day. Today, we mourn the passing of the boy known as Cubuck Splashed Ceiling. No pun intended. Though I wouldn't be too sad if I were you. Cubuck's mother certainly hasn't let it dampen her high spirits, and she happened to be actually present at the moment of his passing. Maybe the corpses weren't his only problem. And hey look! Some new migrants have arrived. You know what they say, when I close a door, I always open a window or something similar. Yes, yes, pile on in, my beautiful new dwarves. Don't mind how sticky everything is, it's just an aid to gripping. Well, you've got a laugh or you'll cry, right? No, all right, fine. Here's a little memorial to the adorable little nitwit. I was going to call it Cubuck's End, but I thought that'd be in bad taste. If you're sensing that I'm winding down to the end, then good instincts, because that's precisely what I'm doing. I'm not sure if it's clear yet, but although I have a broad idea for what I'm hoping to achieve, generally the dwarves dictate what you'll be watching episode to episode. Case in point, I was not planning on painting the fortress red today. Now, of course I could have worked my mysterious ways, but frankly, based on his parents' response, I think the boy might be better off. His own father had positive thoughts naming him an acquaintance for me's sake. So yes, we'll leave little Cubuck rest in his new tomb here, adorned with a little statue of a hamster, because I guess I'm just a big softy at heart. I take it I don't need to mention who the larger tomb is for. Nor, I think, do I need to note why I've planned for the tomb system to be so easy to add to. It's dangerous work to be a dwarf. But yes, with that said, I think it's time for us to part ways again for another fortnight. Anus Eshon, you most wonderful of individuals. Anus Eshon. Kutam Milunudis Umid. I thought we'd start today by looking over the super bombastic new space for our Baroness Cavern. It's a little on the pokey side, but once it's all properly furnished, it should satisfy her new aristocratic wants. We've already got the statues in place. Luki provided the ones to his god, and though I'd normally be against it, I find it amusing that Cavern will have her back to the gangly rock-salt humanoids, with long-clawed fingers and stubby little wings. They're both holding tissues and a copy of The Fault in Our Stars. He's called them sobbing seraphs. Oh, and another mandate. Wonder what it is this time. Oh, more breastplates. Yes, well, our defences are somewhat lacking, though I'm not certain more breastplates is the answer. More dwarves in those breastplates, perhaps, but we're far too busy for that. Ah, this is interesting. Everybody's favourite Grump Thighcut has gone into a strange mood. Beats the bad mood she's been in for years, I suppose. And she's claimed a stoneworker's workshop, so whatever we get will be made out of any old rubbish. Yes, here we are, she's grabbed a chunk of limonite. Guess we're not making iron out of that one then. Oh, and she's salting the wound by grabbing some iron bars. Now, she's off to the surface by the look of things. That can only mean she's grabbing a rotten corpse or some wood. And it's the wood. Really, I have no idea what she's planning. She's an adequate stonecutter at best, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities to expect she just piles the things and calls it good. Stack of random nonsense by Thighcut Guild Seers. Well, we'll just skip ahead to when she's made it and take a look. Sinsot Sibnia, a limonite bracelet. Decorated with wood and adorned and menacing with rings of limonite and spikes of iron respectively. Well, damn, that's actually rather good, isn't it? So, you know what? Seeing as she made it, I see no reason why Thighcut shouldn't be the one to wear it. You did a good job there, Thighcut. Keep it up. Oh, she's crying. Let's just move on. 41 dwarves in this fortress now, and it's come to my attention that a good portion of them are still sleeping in the surface dormitory. Not something that can continue if we're to be taken seriously. So here you can see the extension we've begun. For those trying to keep track, we're just south of Catton's new rooms and the jam stain that was Cubuck. Too soon? It's fine. Anyways, yes, we're working on these 6 for now, with plans to head further along the wall of this opening here. With enough time, I hope to encircle the whole thing, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Another ban on exports. I wonder what it could possibly be this time, and yes, it's breastplates. It's a good job you said something, Catton, because here comes the humans and I was just about to trick them into buying armor that's far too small for them. All joking aside, I do have to say how excited I am that we finally rate full-sized wagons from our traders now. Oh, and they come equipped with those newfangled teleporting water buffalo. So fancy. Blimey, it's a good job they didn't bring a second wagon. Note to self, make ramp down to trade depot wider. There, that's future Phlegm's problem now. Now, we're going to leave the minutiae of trading to Rimtar, because it's dull as dirt, and check out something I'm very excited about. Here you can see an area I've set up for our brand new squad of admittedly green crossbow dwarves. The defended stockade will be training here for the foreseeable future to become the solution to our little serpentman problem. I got one of our newer dwarves, who turns out is a master weaponsmith, to build up some fantastic iron crossbows and set a handful of the others to fashioning bolts out of bone, something we have a never-ending supply of. With the judicious use of some well-placed fortifications, we should be able to clear the caverns of cave-dwelling filth in no time. And here's our dwarf of the hour, Melville. One of the newer dwarves again, Melville had a very particular set of skills that made her jump out as a perfect leader material for our new squad. She's a High Master animal trainer, which is something I couldn't give a damn about, so she's completely expendable. Now, yes, she's a competent fighter, but if all goes as it should, that won't come into it at all. We shall destroy our enemies from afar with superior tactical skill. I see nothing that could possibly go wrong. Foreshadowing? I would never. Here we see a new set of migrants, and normally I'd go into detail about the background of one or two, but this time all I want to talk about is Lycott. Look at this side-eyeing, baldy little thripwit. This is what happens when you allow random numbers to make stuff. No intelligent person could design this. It's too weird, and I love every delectable pixel of it. Go forth and be yourself, Lycott, you freaky little pimple imp. Ha ha! She says she's concentrating on something too. That's too good! Oh, we've got another dwarf in a strange mood. That's Kib, one of our newer stoneworkers. Though we're going to leave her to it as our Queen Ervad has just arrived. Looks like she's still chasing Thightcut around the fortress, so we could probably have stuck with Kib a little longer. Ah well, too late now. Let's just skip to the meeting. Here we are. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing's changed. Yes, get on with it. We're asking for wood and glass. Yes, it is getting that serious now that we could do with outside sources for those things. Relics you would want... splints. No. We need our wood, and I'm not wasting resources on crutches for our potty king to drink out of, or whatever. Enjoy the rest of your visit, your highness. Maybe next year you can think about making a serious request. Now, as for trading, Rimtar? That's a dwarf. Oh, Kib's finished her artifact and it's a gypsum coffer. She's nailed bits of wood to a rock she's hollowed out and she's calling it an artifact. There's spider web all over it even. Waste of my damn time. Well, at least it's got a funny name. Shashtongor. I want possible translations in the comments below. Really get inventive, I know you can. Here's that area we were in before, with the new bedrooms all complete and ready for sleepy dwarves. Though we are going to need more, which is why I've got our miners to continue digging around the opening. My idea is to start having the rooms begin again in this area, leaving this southern portion clear for a thing I'm calling Operation Ultra Bravery. And what's that, I hear you all cry? Well, remember the defended stockade. I figured that where better to rain bolts down than from a catwalk directly above the cavern. So that's what we're going to do. Starting from this point and moving north, a 2-wide walkway surrounded by fortifications that will do double duty as sniper vantage and shortcut to the bedrooms. I did want to link the bedrooms up with those just south of the Candies of Wire, but I don't think we'll be able to without removing a bedroom. Still might do it, but we'll see if it's required once the catwalk is complete. So, no better time than the present. Let's get the miners down here and start digging this area out. Yes, here we go. Now, I should mention I've also asked the defended stockade to get their tails down here, just in case the serpentmen pop their scaly heads up. But I recently stopped them training to collect a stockpile of bolts, so I'm sure they're all scampering around the fortress picking their equipment up from wherever they dropped it before. Let's get the other dwarves ready with the blocks. Set up just a little 2x3 for now. Best not get too crazy until the squad is here. Ah, here they are now. Well, Low Gem is here anyway. That's not the same Low Gem that created Emadabia. No, this one joined in a recent Migrant wave. Sensing a pattern in my choices for squad members. Ah, along comes Degel. Good me, these dwarves are slow. But here comes Yushat now, followed by the others. Way to lead from the back, Melbill. Anyway, now that the crossbowmen are here, I feel confident enough to move on to other things. We'll come back once some decent progress has been...
Here! What's all that banging? I'm trying to do work down in the basement and all I can hear is you tramping around like a herd of cosmic hippos.
The herd of... How dare you! I'll have you know I'm very light on my...
Bloody Nora, what's that thing? The Forgotten Beast and Guzlalu Stot Zom has come. Four, look at the size of him.
Zommy? Oh, he shouldn't be. Oh, no, Snodford, you didn't.
Didn't what?
Did you open the Tupperware in the basement freezer?
Well, which one?
The one with the label on it reading Frozen Beast best before December 1702.
Oh, that one. Yes.
Why?
I was hungry, and all the tubs I opened had frozen beasts in
All
them.
the other... Oh, no. Hold on, beasts! Daddy Phlegm is coming!
Well, what do we have here, then? Let's take a look-see at old Zom on the ground, as it were. Just click through here and... Cool, yeah. Look at all this blood around. And he's close to the fortress thing. Here's the fella. The terrible dive of fiends. I'm sure you ain't that bad. Let's have a watch of him then. Oh, better move the cursor. Roar! Roar! Oh, is he dead? What, he trip over his own alligator? Oh, nah. Says here he got into a fight with a load of invisible snake people. Well, stands to reason he'd lose that fight. Phlegm knows it's hard to fight what you can't see. But, wait, wasn't he eyeless? This game's daft. Oh, what's this? Oh, there's the snake people. Okay, teleporting enemies are no joke. Cool. Yeah, they're ugly looking sons of basilisks. Ugh. Nary a ranged weapon on one of them, no? I'm sure I heard Phlegm talking about crossbowmen. Yeah, here we go. Plonk 'em up here and we'll set ourselves up a little fish and barrel situation. Wait a minute, did I just see someone? Nah, can't have been. I only just gave the go-ahead to... Oh no. Oh no. What is he doing down there? Kubuk, father of Kubuk. His family needs bloody help. And I'm talking like now. Okay, what do we do? What can we do? Oh, well, this door needs to be unlocked for starters. Then, has he got another... He has. Right, a fully armed squad of battle dwarves. Oh, he's beat... Ah, no. It's too late. Ah, Phlegm, what am I going to do? He's going to bloody kill me. Oh, here come the battle dwarves at least. He's going to be avenged. Yeah, wipe 'em out. Oh, there's more. Well, no worries, we can... Oh no, there's more. And... More. And... Oh no, the squad. No. Now there's civilians getting involved. Right, it's okay. I know what to do. Okay, maybe I don't know what to do. We've lost a lot of dwarves here, but hold fast. Not like things can get any worse. Oh. No, wait, this might be a good thing. Webs are dangerous. Maybe this big fella can clear some of the hordes. Yeah, spray them things, you beautiful beastie. And he's dead. Arses. Oh my Phlegm, and there's still all these snaky sods under the water. And all these over here. Right, final stand for the fortress it is. I reckon we... Well, I'm never going to see those beasts again. What have you done? Oh, Plymothy. Out! Look, I just... Get out! Getting out. Oh, me, what did he do? Snod killed Channelglazes. I managed to lock the few remaining dwarves back behind the walls, but most of them are battered beyond repair. Catton's dead, Ngojo's dead, Lukey, my sweet dear Lukey, smashed apart whilst trying to defend his new home. To give you a good idea of the state of the fortress now, Comical survived, but her limbs are held on with spit and hope. I can't believe he did this. I opened my home to him and he damn near wiped out my whole fortress in 5 minutes. I could continue, build back from the ashes of my once bustling little barony. But I don't think I have it in me. I'm sorry, my friends, but it would appear I'm making something of a habit of ending my fortresses in disaster. Ah well, no use crying over spilt dwarf. Hope you had a blast, and I'll see you in the next one. Anus Eshon, lovelies. Anus Eshon. Hello everyone. Just wanted to say a special thanks for watching today. And if you fancied subscribing to Crumpet Sounds, I don't think that'd be such a bad thing. Cheers then. Is that good? Well, it's a start.